Hello, this is Chef Michael from Part-Time Permies. We have our violets in bloom out by our oak tree, and so violets are a wonderful flower for making crystallized petals or crystallized flowers for pastry work. You may have seen these in fancy restaurants or magazines, traditional classical cuisine or French pastry making, but they're actually not that hard to make. You may have also tried to buy them or were convinced to put them on a wedding cake, and you were charged, maybe 25 to 50 cents per one of these. Rose petals and other edibles could have been a couple dollars, depending on how nicely they're candied. So we're going to show you how to do it. It's a great thing if you're doing forage or if you're doing garden. Any of your wild edibles that are tender, so lots of different blooms, and some of your leaves are perfect candidates for candying. So also think about basil, sage, some different things like that. The ingredients you need is an egg white or a couple egg whites. You may want a drop of water or a drop of a neutral alcohol in here. You could put a little bit of rum or vodka or something to help just loosen up the egg a little bit, and it's probably good also because it's going to evaporate a little faster than water. But I've got that, and then I've got sugar. Now you can either use your basic white cane sugar, or you can buy something called superfine sugar, or 10x sugar sometimes is what's commercially, or what we would industrially call, powdered sugar. I would avoid most of your powdered sugars because they have additives in it. They have cornstarch or different things, the anti-caking agents. They can taste a little gritty unless they're cooked out. That's why I like the superfine sugar or the standard sugar. Now you can also spin it real quick in a high-powered blender or in a Cuisinart just to pulverize it down a little bit finer. You're gonna need something to place them on. So a silpat or parchment paper or wax paper, a dehydrating pad would all be fine. It takes 24 hours unless it's really humid to set them up. So yeah, you've pretty much got everything you need as long as you have some blooms or herbs that are ready to be candied. I've frothed it up a little bit. You could whisk it or froth it a little bit. What we want to do is keep it fairly delicate. Now you can get really fancy and you can take a brush and you can brush this egg white on each petal, top and bottom, before you do the sugaring process, or you can simply kind of dip it. I got some stems on here, which is nice, kind of helps hold it. I want these to be open, so they should be nice and shellacked. And then a bit underneath. That's it. I'm going to put them in a downward, make sure that their petals are also opened, and that's the way they're going to dry. They're going to dry, and then when they're all done, in a day or so, if you want to remove the stem, you can remove the stem, that's fine. You can, then you're going to need to put them in a container, a airtight container, maybe with a little desiccant pack in it. If you do that, they will stay at room temperature with the low humidity for, I don't know, at least months. I think we had some sitting in a cabinet at one place I worked for probably a couple of years. And you can get a little bit of flavor on them, especially if they're fresh. Rose has a flavor, violet has a light flavor. So you can get a little bit of flavor. One thing I'm going to do here is, you do want them separated because the liquid could cause them to stick together. You don't want them in a mass. You want to be able to put them individually onto a pastry or finish a cupcake. You want to take a very simple cupcake and turn it into a $5 cupcake, or at least the appearance of a $5 or $7 cupcake in the big cities. Put one crystallized flower on and it makes all the difference. We can do these in season, but we only have a few days or a week or so on the violets while they're in perfect bloom. You don't want a decaying flower. It's just not going to be a pretty effect. You might want to put them in refrigeration, but you can probably leave them out overnight and come and check them, and then again put them in a sealed container ideally with a little desiccant if you're keeping them for a while. So if you get a lot of humidity, they're gonna get soft and you'll lose the sugar off of them, they'll get sticky. But otherwise, that's all there is. You can get fancy with it, you know, a little more specialized, but you can do this with almost anything that's edible and delicate and looks nice and ideally has a nice flavor. Finish off a salad, or obviously finish off pastries and garnish plates with them. I'm Chef Michael, it's Part-Time Permies, and this is just a quick spring candying flowers and herbs video.